How is it going, guys? I hope you guys had a nice day yesterday. It seems like there's still not much going on in the markets. Just digesting that bit of correction from earlier in the week or last end of last week. Um, so we will see what it decides. I am still not too bullish just yet. I think I don't like the declining volume after these big sell bars. I'm not a fan of this point of control being lower than this one. There's a few things that I don't know. I mean, it's holding higher right now. I guess this is the impeachment news or something here. Um, so I don't know. This market still has to prove itself to me. Like once you get over that 31, 32 kind of level, that's when I'll start getting like optimistic again. Before that, and I mean, we need to hold, of course. Before that, I don't know. There's not like also in a lot of charts, I find there's a bit of indecision throughout the market, and also I think I saw some other stuff today. That I don't remember. I should have written it down, but there's like some other things that I'm gonna perhaps go over on the weekend. That uh, to me don't make it like such a crazy bullish scenario. Um, what I'm also want to mention is that on the weekend I'm gonna put out a video for like regarding premium and the difference between buying premium and selling premium, and why I am more inclined to sell premium than to buy it in general. I think there's been a few questions in chat after my demo in the video yesterday. So I will just do a quick, just the basics, especially what it means in terms of risk versus reward and probability of profit. Just for you guys, a little announcement that this is going to come on the weekend. All right, let's jump into the watch list. First one, Costco. This one looks like there's a bit of profit taking into earnings next week. It broke that trend line that it held all year. It's up 50% or something on the year. Actually, up here was more up like 60%. So I'm not surprised that there's going to be some profit taking in this. Possible. Let's look, where could it go? Like if we get under that 291, I think we have a chance to also break the 290, and then like 285 will be the next target. I don't know if that's going to happen before earnings. Usually, like when I look at the chart, there's always a bit of selling ahead of earnings. So this is not too much of a surprise. We will see. Like I think the business itself is healthy, so it's probably going to spike back up after earnings or something. I don't know. There's not a prediction. I'm just thinking out loud here, but I like that it closed underneath that lower Celt as well, just from an indicator point of view, with slightly more volume here, together with this broken trend line. It could be a decent short for the next few days before earnings. I wouldn't recommend holding through earnings, but unless you have like a specific earnings strategy. Baba is next. That one is still chugging along with nice volume yesterday, back to highs, held that upper Celt nicely. I think this is, and it's gapping back up. Of course, still the Hong Kong news, Hong Kong exchange news. Let's check real quick if it's already breaking. It's already over the breakout level. So I think if this comes back to retest at 201, that could be a decent long for a day trade, or perhaps a swing into 205 or something like that. 205, what do we have here? 205 and 205. Oh, wait. That is way too low. 205. What's the gap close here? 201. That's not too far away. So let's see. Yeah, if we like 20201 is the gap close. So perhaps that could definitely be an initial target, and then hopefully break through, and yeah, run into 205. So we will see. But I really like the strength here, especially after this long consolidation here. This is really nice. Next one I like, Activision, also a long. My internet is still crappy, so bear with me. Um, held this middle count quite nicely yesterday, or beginning of the week. The bullish crossover in the moving averages, which is definitely nice. So this could, like, if this gets over that upper celt, over that 56, this could have like the next leg up for that, especially for that gap fill, at least into 60, and then gap fill. I could have that in the cards medium term. Just looks. I really like this. I really like this one. Also, the company itself is I mean, a very successful company. So definitely like something to look at. Just the way it's holding that level higher. It's really nice. Next one, Boeing. That one sold off. I don't know how much it had to do with the news of United switching plane manufacturers, but it's selling. As I mentioned this yesterday, held at that support perfectly actually. So let's see if we break 345.50. We could potentially see, like that 340 soon again. But on the other hand, it's had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red days now. So at some point, this is going to be oversold as well. So I would not short this for more than an intraday trade. Just, yeah, stay safe with this one at such an extended level. If you can find like a nice risk reward here for that breakdown, perhaps, like risk of like the 347 or something like that, depending on where it goes pre-market, or part 348. That gives you like, I mean, it's not the best risk reward, but it could probably potentially give you like a 2-to-1 down to 340, depending on your entry as well, of course. But just an idea. And then, of course, at some point when this starts basing, say we get into like this support zone and we get like a bit of a reversal candle or something like that. Then this could also be a nice short-term long back into the lower Celt. I've had Baba. Next one, Baidu. I like Baidu as well. China stocks, they seem to be doing quite nice. It's one of two China stocks on the list today. I don't know. They had like some minor news today that they had like some third tier company raised their price target to 125. I don't know if that, like, I don't think this is going to have much of an impact. I don't see anything happening here. It's trading just a little bit higher. But what I like is the trend line. A trend line break here. It's also back into this support / resistance zone that we've had recognized or identified from here. Held that 30 as well quite nicely. So if this can break out, hopefully even over that middle Celt, or break out and then gap over the middle Celt, come back, test the middle Celt and hold, could be a nice long. First into 121.30, and then the upper Celt, and then probably like 123.50, and then the previous highs. That's what I would be looking at from a level standpoint. just like from like those short-term levels. Next one, BIIB. This one had news yesterday about Alzheimer's drug. Brought some nice volatility into the stock. So depending if this can, break over that 307 kind of level, like if the market receives this, is taking this well, and some big money is coming in, this could actually have like a really nice move because it's gapped up on earnings, sold off, has now consolidated for quite a while. So this could have like, if this wants to head higher, this move would be nicely timed here. I'm just realizing here now that this is also a really nice level here from previous, like from last year and early this year. So that 307 level is quite important. That's why we stopped here as well. Actually, that one went all the way into 309. Actually, damn. Still, I think that 307 level is going to have quite a bit of impact here. Just we see it's tested it quite a few times. So yeah, like that's probably something you could keep on watch because it's in play right now. Unless like no one's freaking interested in this tomorrow or today for you guys, then I would just leave my hands off it. Cisco, come on. I mentioned this one as well. This broke the support. I put on that put spread that I showed you guys. And now the target here would probably be like that support level here in the 42, 43, 42, 50, 43 area. And if you break below that, which I mean, I have time on my side, but if this wants to break below, then 41, that would be like the final target. Just really nice, gapped under the lower Kelt. Tested it here, fell below, tested it again, kind of not super clean, tested it here, but failed again. And now it's off to the races for more downward movement, like also fueled by apparently not too well received earnings. So all of this together makes me confident that the short that I put on yesterday, that this is going to work out. JD, the second China stock here. I really like the way this is holding higher. Like from these previous, like resistance and is turning into support here. Digested like the market sell off quite well. Now back over the 14, over those, like all of those levels. If this can gap over, let's see where it is. It's actually gapping over the middle Kelt. So if this comes back into the middle Kelt right off the open, it's not far, and holds, or perhaps it wants to close the gap and then holds, that would actually be a nice long entry as well for at least the day trade up to like 33, or perhaps even a swing up to the upper Kelt. A swing, I would say, like the next week or so, that would need to work out in the next week or so. Netflix, I'm looking at this one because this one is interesting. It's holding the middle Kelt just now. It's holding that support level here. The days have been fairly red though. But it's still in that within this channel. And this, to me, this looks a little bit like a sign that it wants to hold. So I just want you guys to perhaps, if you have some spare capital, you could put on like a small short put spread, sell some premium with like the short put at the 300 level, and I assume 45 days out is going to be. Let me bring this up. 1 second. Let's see. Hey, where's my, okay, here's my mouse. So as earnings though before this is happening. That's something to keep in mind. If you want a fast trade, perhaps something like this. Yeah, yeah. It's not in like by the books per se. Um, Actually, this is good. This is what I would probably be doing. Um, the 300 level is psychologically quite strong, and it's been like holding like some technical levels. The probabilities are on your side. You're risking 1.5 to make one, basically, plus or minus. If you want to really go like super by the books, you could go like this, risk exactly 1.5 to make one. I think this could actually be a nice high probability or pretty good high probability kind of trade. A bit shorter term because we don't want to hold into earnings. If you want to go and give yourself a little bit more time, you could perhaps go here. That would give you that. That's actually even better. It's just I don't like swinging weeklies too far out, and 30 days is almost, or 28 days is almost a little bit too far out for me to swing weeklies. I would prefer monthlies, but this is actually the same. Like credit received versus the risk on this trade. So yeah, maybe because earnings are coming up, this could perhaps be something that I would be looking at. Yeah, I would have to do a little bit more trying things out, trying different kinds of spreads. But this is kind of how I assess whether I would want to trade this or not. I mean, just looking at from a purely pattern kind of point of view, it's had a nice pullback. Let's perhaps look at the Fibonacci's. So that's the high, that is the low. So it's holding that 61.8 level. So that could be another confirmation that this would be a decent long. Just make a case. I would probably, I might put this on, although I already have a fair bit of long delta, and this is not like a super A plus setup just yet to me. So if I trade it, I'm going to trade it small. Right, next one, Twillo. Twillo is interesting. I just want you guys to see that I'm not interested in this just yet because it failed at that middle celt. It failed at the 100 now. This might want to retest the lower celt. Perhaps for a intraday swing, this could be good. But yeah, anything other than that, I'm not looking at this right now. I want this to get back over 100 first before I start looking at this again. Next one is United. This one has sold off quite a bit as well, coming into resistance, into support now. Volume is slightly diminishing. This could be a nice, like another premium selling kind of long at this point. Coming into the 200. Made like a higher high here after this one, kind of, like this kind of higher, also this higher, I think I pointed this out before, this higher kind of hold or holding pattern or whatever you want to call it compared to this stuff. So I am thinking, actually I think here on this on Wednesday I put a initial long position on, just like a few weeks out, selling some premium and seeing where this is going, and depending on how this holds today, I might add a little bit to that long. Next one, UNH. This one. Still really strong. I guess still on the news with about the healthcare rollbacks and stuff like that. See, there's someone raising price targets on them. 320. Yeah, okay, that's quite high. That's like over all-time highs. So this could have like another leg, I think. Could at least into like the those previous highs from here. I don't think that's too far-fetched. So if this gets through 283, I would be interested in this for an intraday trade. And if it doesn't get to 287, then could even swing this into the next week. The next one, second to last, is Wayfair. This one is, I told you guys for weeks now to keep this one on watch, and I like the increased volume here. It's on this here though as well though, so you never know. But I like how it failed at the middle Celt here. Those levels are now coming down. We are still in a downtrend on like moving average wise. So if this can, depending on what it's going to do, no action so far in pre-market. But if this gets under this, what is it, 78.50 level, which is also the lower Celt coincidentally, and we definitely are going to see. I'm not going to be 100% sure of anything, but so I could definitely like imagine. See how careful I am with my words now. Imagine seeing 76.60, and if that breaks down, we have quite a bit to go. Like fill this gap at 65, then more support around 60. So this could be quite nice if this breaks down for like a longer term short. Right, and lastly, Walmart. This is holding still quite nicely. In this kind of range. It's now come almost to the bottom of this kind of range that it's had for a while, apart from that earnings thing though. So if it wasn't for this huge rejection of at earnings, I would start longing this one here as well. But as I said, I'm not too confident in the market just yet. This one is like definitely a sign that it was not ready to break out yet, and it's still under the middle Celt. It's still inside this channel. So I'm not going to anticipate anything. I'm going to wait until this gets at least over the medium Celt, middle Celt before I start thinking about a long again. All right, guys, that's it. You guys have a nice Friday. Be careful when if anyone is trading the cheap Friday options, they can go against you quite quickly. And guys, I'll see you guys on the weekend in my video on premium. You guys have a good day. Cheers.